have much to add with the exception that this did present an opportunity for me to share some additional new information, and you inspired me as well. And you inspired me. And you inspired me. You inspired me.
I knew it.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Bog Panda. I'm Kelly at KELLYTHUL on Twitter and Instagram.
I am Dr. Mike at Official Pagan on everything. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, turn on notifications, leave a comment, cover your disgusting naked body in some of our merchandise. Do whatever it is that you need to do to get the word of Panda out there.
That's right. And coming soon, it's probably not on the store yet, but yes, you've already been asking for it. There will be a G Mike Lies a Lot t-shirt available, our official mascot. Photo shoot, it's been trouble getting the schedules lined up, but G's gonna come through for us. So we're looking forward to adding that to the roster.
Are we gonna get a We Ask, We Tell, and Kelly Likes to Watch t-shirt?
No, we're not.
See what happens, people. One person controls the narrative here.
Yeah, you'd think. One just tries to put the toothpaste back in the tube where he can. So. For this week, we wanted to, this is probably a quick show, but a pretty cool thing came out from our friends at Buy Stuff Online. We have talked about them before. They've done risers and some side art, some type of stuff you can get there. So they're a good store if you're a retro gamer to go check out. They've got a lot of interesting little things. And the most interesting one we've seen recently was a new accessory that will work on the Legends Ultimate 1.0 and 1.1. So that takes care of me. Then the Legends Mini. So that takes care of Mike. And then also on the Gamer Pro and a variety of others. So most of any of the AtGames control decks that are of decent size that seems to work on, and it is a mount for a steering wheel. So what are your thoughts initially on this new product, Mike?
So as we've kind of talked about before, I'm not a big driving game guy or racing game guy. There are, though, individual games that I really do enjoy. Not enough of them, though, to buy, say like the Outrun cabinet from Arcade 1-Up, or we've already seen the prototype for the AtGames sit-down driving cabinet. Not enough to buy something like that. This, though, could be a good in-between thing if I find one or two more driving games that I really enjoy, because right now, not enough to really push me over the edge, but I do think this is a really cool product. That's a good price point. If you don't want to drop $600 on the Arcade 1-Up to get, one game, and yes, I know you can add other games to it, but one sort of branded thing, or the probably even higher cost of the AtGames one when that comes out, because that looks like a pretty big, pretty sturdy unit. So this is obviously a really good option at a more cost-effective price point. For me personally, I need a few more driving games in my repertoire to justify something like this, bolting a big steering wheel to the front of my arcade cabinet. I do think it's a really cool product, though, if that's the kind of thing you're into.
Yeah, and it's probably going to take a couple games for me as well, because it's a double investment. One, it's getting this, which looks like a nice universal mount that you can run on a bunch of different things, locks in kind of with tabs. We'll include in the description a link to a video that kind of gives you an overview of it and that. But you still need to have steering wheel to attach to it, and a lot of options out there for that. You can really go high quality on it. You can get some middle of the road stuff as well. Things like pole position. So, with CoinOps X on the Legends, there's a pretty good chunk of driving games. And I was always a big pole position fan. We've covered before that neither Mike are like big driving game ones, but pole position was pretty fun. And the form factor of actually having a steering wheel for that would be pretty cool. But I definitely can't see investing in a steering wheel an amount to on the occasional times we're like, gee, I'd like to play pole position and put it on and to kind of deal with that. So we'll have to see. But it looks, it looks like other products that they've offered. It's going to be a good quality, functional thing. What disturbed me a little bit was as they were demonstrating it, they kind of moved to a couple of different devices, and when they put it on the Mini, and the guy kind of grabbed hold of the steering wheel, the entire Mini moved. So I think it comes into the AtGames. You put a little bit, the Legends Ultimate, you put a little oomph into playing Battlezone, pull back on it, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, wait a second, the cabinet's not like super heavy and won't budge on you. But I really noticed that it doesn't take a whole lot for you to kind of slide that Mini around a little bit. So you've been using your Mini for a little while now. Have you noticed that it might not hurt to throw a bag of gravel at the bottom of it or something?
Yeah, it is lighter. It's noticeably lighter than the Arcade One-Up products. And even at the larger size that the full size is, I would bet money it still comes in lighter than the Arcade One-Up stuff does. I mean, you take something like Ninja Turtles, which is 4 players, has that giant base that it's on. That thing's probably over 100 pounds. That's not moving. Even when the kids are at it and being rough and stuff like that, the Mini, I can jostle that around, not even meaning to. So it is, I kind of mentioned it before, I do understand why people don't want to be in the position that I want to be in of building a whole arcade with Arcade One-Ups and things like that, size and price point and space and all that kind of stuff. I get it. But they are, and again, a lot of people don't like having the risers and things like that to get them to the standing size. However, it does make them a large, sturdy thing that's not going to move around if you have kids playing it, or if it's a, particularly aggressive gameplay night.
Yeah. Yeah. So you'll have to take a measurement on the dimensions, the actual dimensions of your Mini and let me know, because as we're talking about it here, I just kind of figured out a hack I'm probably going to do with my Legends, which is I have a few extra 12-inch by 12-inch pavers that we've used kind of out around the back for different things, and got a couple of those left over. One of those is a good 30, I don't know if it's 30 pounds, but it's got a decent amount of weight to it. I can slide the front panel up, set one of those pavers down the bottom of my Legends, and it's gonna feel pretty immobile at that point in time, or at least a lot more stable, which would be kind of a nice clean way to add some weight to it. So basically I'm going to put a brick, a big brick in the bottom of my Legends just to sturdy it up a little bit for when I try to run away on Battlezone.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea. And my understanding from the reviews that I've watched is the depth of the Mini is similar to the full size, because that was one of the complaints, that they felt like it wasn't that different of a footprint. It's just narrower, but the depth is pretty much the same, and the height is very similar, maybe just slightly shorter. So, and in fact, I do believe they said the joystick height is at the same height. I believe the marquee is just slightly shorter than the full size Mini. It's just narrower. So if that's the depth, I'll have to get you some good detailed pictures. There's a significant difference in depth from the Legends to an Arcade One-Up.
Gotcha.
We're talking, off the top of my head, probably 6 inches.
Wow.
In depth difference. So I mean, they are bulky, boxy machines. They are Arcade One-Ups, which again, when you see it moving around like you did in that video, that's not necessarily a bad thing, but at the same time, I totally understand people who don't want that.
Yep. And so it'll be good to kind of think about some hacks to it. And particularly, if you are adding a steering wheel, using this product to your Legends or Mini or whatever, that's another big torque. I mean, that's playing those games, whether it's a shift or whether it's just turning it, you're gonna be exerting torque on the system. So you probably want to kind of have it as stable as possible. So yeah, that'll be interesting to see. But we wanted to just kind of flag it. Just came out here recently. Looks really cool for you folks out there in the Legends family. Let us know in the comments if that's something you've been waiting for or going to definitely get, if you're a driving game enthusiast. And if you have any concerns about, particularly if you have a Mini, you're going to be rocking it around the house. So we'd like to hear from you on that. Anything else, Mike?
No, I mean, I think you've already kind of suggested what is probably an excellent fix for it. I mean, aside from there is like a strap for the wall to hold it, but it's still going to slide back and forth if you're really getting aggressive with it. It might not fall over, but you're still moving it. I kind of like your idea. Throwing a paver or something in the back of it that's going to weigh 20, 30 pounds. It's not moving.
It's not moving. It's
Yeah.
gonna feel more like an arcade machine because
Yeah.
it's not gonna shake. But we'll see.
I would be curious too, because like Kelly and I both said, while there is some games, Kelly likes pole position. I'm really big into Road Rash and a couple other similar games. But if there is really cool driving games you guys know and want to recommend, just leave it in the comments. I'm definitely open to it. I just haven't found one or too many that I'm just that into.
Yep. Simpsons Hit and Run. That's always
Does Grand Theft Auto count?
Yeah, sure. Why not? Cool. All right. Well, hey, as always, folks, thanks for watching. Please consider subscribing if you haven't, and we'll catch you again soon.
Thanks, everybody.